All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2023 February ban list Spiral deck profile and guide. This is going to be a video that intends to just inform people of the general idea of, how to play Spiral, a deck that you can play, and personally the one that I have been playing and seeing the most success with, and then a couple different ideas on what you can be playing going forward. I will go ahead and say right off the bat that the main portion of this video will not be discussing how Spyral combos with AFD. We will be discussing that towards the end of it. However, because Ancient Fairy Dragon does not come out until March 10th due to its errata, I believe it's coming out in Maze of Memories, there's not really much point in, discussing it right now at this very moment. Just know that it does open up an incredibly large amount of combo tools for the deck. However, right now we just can't play it, unfortunately. I will also say apologies if I make any stutters or mistakes in this video. I do not know how to edit whatsoever, so yeah. Additionally, there will be a second video that goes up today in which I record my live Spyral Combo, theory process with probably the most insane hand I've ever seen. It's going to be this hand: Water Enchanters of the Temple, Last Resort, Right, Tough, and Destrudo. If you can figure out how exactly this gets me to full combo without watching the other video, huge props to you. However, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the deck list. So this is what I'm currently playing for TCG Spyral before Ancient Fairy Dragon comes out. It's Isold. It is Spyral Isold, Spyral Warrior, whatever you would like to call it. There's probably some really cool name you can come up with it, for this deck. However, it is Spyral with the Isold combo. A very big part of how Spyral plays is you want to have this massive wombo combo, 60 negates, wicked board, in which your opponent can't. You're basically playing a pseudo FTK. And the thing that enables this is Spyral Double Helix, which reads, you can declare one card type monster, spell, or trap, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck, and if you do, and its type matches the declared type, take a Spyral monster from your deck or graveyard and either add it to hand, or special summon it to your zone this card points to. You can only use this effect of Spyral Double Helix once per turn. This card is probably up there for top 5 Link monsters ever made. This card is incredible. This is everything for the deck. Also, I, again, apologize. I do also have a bit of a cold. But, yeah, Spyral Double Helix, it does everything. If this card resolves, you should win the game. Here's the problem, though. Normally, for those of you familiar with Master Duel, Master Plan is legal in that game, and people play it in Spyral to do absolutely abhorrent things that realistically should not be doable in any card game. However, we don't have this in TCG, so instead we're forced to look elsewhere for cards that can allow you to, pop off after you resolve Double Helix. One of the biggest routes is going to be Isold, because you can make this card with Super Agent plus Double Helix, or, as you'll see in the video that I upload after this one, this card gets you into Double Helix on its own. Any two warriors apparently can set up a 4-material Apollousa, Utopic Draco Future, Borreload Savage Dragon, and Spyral Sleeper. It's genuinely insane, and I'm very excited for that video to go up. But the general idea and theorycraft behind how Spyral works is you want to get into Double Helix and then go into another half of your deck, or another part of the deck, that can let you combo off like crazy. An example of this would be Romulus. If you can get any 2 dragons or winged beasts on the board, you can make Romulus and then go into... I actually don't have it in this list. You can go into a card called Dragon Ravine, which lets you send a card called Destrudo the Lost Dragon's Frisian, which makes Ancient Fairy Dragon, which then makes Spyral Resort Search Quick Fix, And then with that, you just make double helix, and that gets you, or you don't make double helix, you just, combo off from there. Because that second resort search can get you into sleeper, and if you've already made double helix during your combo, you don't need to go into it, so you can just search sleeper and end on a very powerful boss monster, which I honestly think sleeper in the upcoming format is going to be very good. But another thing, if you could figure it out, I personally haven't. You can probably play a Springens package and go into like any 2 level 4s, make Merrymaker, make Champion Sargus, and then from there you can do stuff like Therian plays or Springen Tally Ho, which is basically Soul Charge. But other than that, I'm going to go ahead and get into the card by card. So we're going to have Sleeper. This is one of the biggest boss monsters of the deck that reads once per turn during other player's turn. You target a Spyral monster or card you control, not just monster, and up to 2 cards your opponent controls, destroy them. This is a quick effect. This is a soft once per turn. This card's incredible. And it is probably one of the best boss monsters that Spyral has. It's actually the only boss monster. The only other one you can really make is just like a double helix backed up by a utility wire, which is a card we're not playing at the moment. But we're playing 3 copies of Vishutta because this allows the deck to go second and commit to, or not commit to anything really, to force out interaction without committing to anything. So for example, for the longest time, one of the biggest problems the deck had is just beating something as simple as Mirror Jade Pass. But with this, you can just link off into the Vishutta and either force out that interaction or bounce it back to hand. Additionally, this helps the deck get around stuff like annoying Bloodgates, and overall, it's just a very, very nice card for the deck. We're playing 3 copies of Spyral Super Agent. This paired with Drone and Machine Duplication, as well as Foolish Burial Goods, because we're running this package with the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, allows us to get our combo started. You really want to see this card in your opening hand. It reads, like a lot of Spyral cards, you can call the top card of your opponent's, or the super type of your opponent's top card, and then it has an effect. This one reads, special summon this card. Tough reads, destroy a card on the field. And weirdly enough, that's actually all of the Spyral cards that call cards. I kind of wish there were more. But then you have stuff like Drone, which when on normal or special summon, that special summon effect is very important because that's used in Adventure Spyral. But you can look at the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck and stack them in any order. This is like on paper, you read this and you're like, okay, whatever, that's not that bad. But then you put it into practice and you realize that this is like a pseudo Yadagarasu. You can stack people's deck with this and just blank their draws for turn with like crappy hand traps or something, or stuff that they wouldn't want to draw. Like in the Spyral Mirror, you can go Drone and then stack Renaud on top of their deck, so that way they draw it per turn. Renaud doesn't do anything for you. And it's just actually like shockingly insane. Alternatively, you can use this to look at every single card in your opponent's deck and then get banned off of Dueling Book. We have you've got Last Resort in here. We are playing 2 copies of Last Resort as well as 2 copies of Tough because the deck is desperate for Spyral names. Spygal Misty is a Spygal and not a Spyral, which means you can't make double helix with her, which means there's literally no point in the card existing. It's very good in our format rank 4 though. We've got Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat. This is going to be part of our Rainbow Bridge of Salvation package, and we are playing the Foolish Burial Goods to support that. However, normally this is indefensible because you don't need that many copies of your field spell. However, in this deck, Foolish Burial Goods is not just an extender in order to get you to a Monster Reborn or to a free special summon from your hand via Assault and Rescue, which both read, banish this card from your graveyard, not once per turn, and then take a Spyral monster from grave, special summon it, or take a Spyral monster from hand and special summon it. But this also can now get you to your Resort. Resort reads, your opponent cannot target other Spyral monsters you control with card effects, broken. Once per turn, you can add 1 Spyral monster from deck to hand, broken. And then once per turn during the end phase, shuffle a monster from your grave into the deck. Which you can use this to, shuffle back a Wandering Griffin Rider in Adventure if you happen to use it. Overall, the applications of Spyral Resort are incredible. This is one of the best field spells in the game, and them putting it to 3 makes me so happy. I cannot even begin to describe how happy this makes me to see it at 3. But other than that, we've got Quick Fix, then one of the biggest stars of the deck, because you're going to be looping this card over and over, and it is your summon of choice off of Double Helix. We've got Fireflint Lady as a search for our Ignite package, as well as you'll see in a combo video later, an incredible piece of extension, because this card has a second effect. Not only is it a free special from hand if you control a warrior, you can also send this card from the field to the graveyard and special summon a level 4 or lower monster, warrior monster from your hand, and if you do, it cannot be targeted with effects this turn. This is very important because both Super Agent and Tough are level 4 warriors that you can apply that effect for, and Drone can banish itself and another Spyral card from your graveyard to add them back to hand. So regularly, this is going to be how you get into something like a Majesty Pegasus. Other than that, we're playing the Ignite Paladin. This is going to be our add-off of Isolde. We've got the Ignite Phoenix. This is going to be your add-off of Durandal, because with Isolde, you're always going to be sending Durandal to special summon a Renaud, grab that back to Durandal, and then special Ignis Phoenix the Rico Slayer. And also, really conveniently, this comes up sometimes. This is a 2 and a 7, which lets you Pendulum Summon a lot of cards in your deck to just get free material on the board. And then you could just go Paladin to pop both of your scales and search both Fireflint Lady and special summon Majesty Pegasus the Rico Slayer from the deck via the effect of Ignis Phoenix the Rico Slayer, which, if this card on field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one Draco Slayer or Ignite monster from the deck, and if you do, it is treated as a tuner. This is why we're going to be playing Borderload Savage Dragon, because Majesty Pegasus plus Super Agent will pretty much get you there. Some situations you might have to normal summon a last resort, but that's few and far between. Another very important thing about this card is on special summon, it can discard one card to add a field spell from deck to hand. Any field spell you want. So in Adventure Spiral, you can use this to grab Dragon Ravine, and then Dragon Ravine into Destrudo, into Resort, and then that gets you to your Double Helix stuff off of just Isolde. Or in this deck specifically, you can use it to grab Spiral Resort, which lets you extend and then grab a Sleeper. Playing 3 Foolish Burial Goods for the reasons as mentioned before. Ghost Trick Shot. This is a hard brick, and if you draw it, it is just a dead card in hand you can't really do anything about. However, the power that it offers the deck by just being able to make any level 1 monster into a Utopic Draco Future is incredibly valuable, and I think it's very difficult to pass up on it. 3 copies of Machine Duplication as a target for your drone specifically. You could be playing other cards for your Machine Dupe target. I know Gizmek, I think it's Orochi is very popular because it's also a small world target. I personally just don't like it. 1 for 1 because this is going to be a 1-card starter if you grab Quick Fix off of it. Reinforcement of the Army to just grab Super Agent. Terraforming to grab more copies of Resort. 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talent. This card is cuttable. However, oh my gosh, this card lets you do so much. It's beautiful. I heavily underestimated the value of a draw 2 for a very long time, but this card definitely does get you there. We've got a copy of Called by the Grave, because while Resort is up, the only thing that can really interact with you is going to be Ash and Ghost Bell, so having a Called by the Grave for that is very nice. Assault for the Foolish Burial Goods, Durandal for the Isolde, Big Red are going to be searches off of Quick Fix, Bridge of Salvation off of Foolish, and then Rescue off of Foolish as well. In the extra, we've got Borderload Savage Dragon. It's a negate. This is what Spyral loves more than anything. It is 4 days away from Valentine, so Borderload Savage Dragon, the best. Usually turboing into some form of an Omni, whether that be Therion King Regulus, Borderload Savage Dragon, Trigate Wizard. All of those are excellent Omnis to go into, but setting up an Omni with Spyral is very good, because the deck happens to suck ass against Evenly Match. And it's very frustrating to play into that card, but having an Omni alleviates that pain. We're playing 2 Angel of Mischief and a Dualahan as our Ghost Trick line into the Utopic Draco Future. Playing Monk of the Tenny so we can grab, have the Vishutta. And then we've got Access Code Talker because we just need to kill people sometimes. Appaloosa because 1 million negates is what the deck does. Nightmare Unicorn so we can spin a card. In some version of the decks, you actually want to run this as an extra form of interruption. So for example, in Lyralistic Spiral, your common end board is going to be Apollosa plus a double helix with utility wire set, and then an IP Masquerena for Nightmare Unicorn. And then lastly, you have Isolde, which is going to be your biggest combo starter. Ferocious Flame Swordsman. I prefer this over Utopia Roots because it floats, it's more generic, and it's just way easier to make. Barracuda Board Blocker, I really like the targeted discard for, but sometimes you just don't need it. And then lastly, you've got Linkuriboh, which is going to be your link off target for the quick fix. Before I go on to just showcasing a combo for the deck, I wanted to take a look at some of the other Spiral cards that do exist. Namely, Utility Wire. If you control a Spiral Super Agent, target a face-up card your opponent controls, place it on top of the deck. This is actually really good and one of the only forms of trap-based interaction that's searchable that the deck has. Generically, or not generically, or in Archetype, the deck only really has Sleeper and Utility Wire and Recapture. This is a card I really, really want to talk about because if a Spiral monster is special summoned to your field, you can target one monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. It is literally Snatch Steal, and being able to take material away from your opponent in this current format is very, very good. Especially with stuff like Xyz decks running around. Mission Recapture is just such a nice card to have utility of. And then you have stuff like Fully Armed. There's a possible setup where you could do like Sleeper and have like a Recapture set and then a Fully Armed. And then on your opponent's turn, you pop the Fully Armed special summon back to Super Agent, and then that triggers Recapture, and then you steal a card. But that's like a really wonky line that doesn't exactly work. Misty is a card that it's basically it's one of the call cards where you can call the super type, and then if you do, you draw a card, but this card's not very good. Very unfortunate. This is a card I really want to talk about because I don't have a lot of time to talk about it. Charming Resort Staff is a non-once per turn special summon from deck whenever it's destroyed by battle or card effect. This card doesn't have to be on the field, so if you can pop Charming Resort Staff with something like a... Oh, I don't know. I actually don't know. What are they called? True King? If you can pop it with a True King, if you can pop it with True Draco Diagram, this card floats into Super Agent. And then you can go Super Agent plus any Spiral name, make Double Helix, and then even if you don't have Drone, you can still activate the effect of Super Agent from the hand, because Charming Resort Staff, when a Super Agent is sent to the graveyard, you can banish it from grave, and then return a Spiral Super Agent to hand. So you just put the Super Agent back in your hand, call whatever, and then if you special summon it, cool, free material. If you don't, cool, Double Helix is now guaranteed. It is a really, really good card, and none of these effects are once per turn. If you can pop this multiple times, you can do a lot of really stupid stuff. One thing you could do is, because it banishes itself, you can DDR this card back, and then because DDR says that it destroys a card when it leaves the field, you can trigger Resort Staff a second time. It's really cool, and I would love to see this card be explored a lot more. I just don't really know how to explore it. One thing that's also very interesting is it has the Kuriboh stat line, which means you can search it off of the Kuriboh cards. I don't know how that's applicable, but I'm pretty sure some nutcase out there can figure out something with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show off the general combo of the deck. A lot of people have already seen this. Where is it? Is it this one? I'm pretty sure it is. This is awful. Actually, no, we're just going to go Rhoda here. So we're going to go Rhoda, normal summon the drone, stack 3, call monster, special summon the Super Agent, go into Double Helix, and then we're going to get Quick Fix. Quick Fix is going to grab us our big red. We're going to link off with the Linkuriboh. We're going to discard a card, special summon back to Quick Fix, and we're going to go Quick Fix, grab our Last Resort, which is going to be used later. Why are we going into this? Oh, this is the Ferocious Flame Swordsman line. This actually makes you very minus. Normally, you don't have to do that, but if you just want to go for the generic combo, you do. Here, we're just grabbing our Ignite cards. But if you have a Super Agent in grave, just big red back the Super Agent and then make Isil. Don't go through all that. Go jump through a bunch of hoops just so you can make, a card that you don't really need to be special summoning to the field. Ferocious Flame Swordsman is largely just like utility and extender. Here we're setting up the Borreload Savage Dragon, getting our negate on board. We're going for the Dualahan line. We're gonna go Dualahan for Angel, Angel for Shot back to Dualahan, and we're gonna go. What are we doing? I guess we just determined that we couldn't go for that. Huh. We definitely had a line to full combo there. But yeah, that's the general idea. I should have just big redded back the super agent in that line and gone from there. Then I would have been able to make a Utopic Draco Future as well. But if you feel like you don't have enough material, apologies, excuse me. If you don't have enough material to go into something like a Utopic Draco Future, you can just use the Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief to get extra material on the field. Because as you saw there, it goes 2 level 1s into level 1, level 4, and then you have 1, 2, and then you special summon back to Quick Fix, and that's 3. It just gets like an extra inch of material on the board, which sometimes can make the difference. A lot of Spyral is split-second decision-making. You're going to have to make decisions with this deck that you wouldn't really be forced to do in any other combo deck. For example, something like Sword Soul. You just, you special summon the worm, you get the token, you make Chi-Xiao, and then you go Chi-Xiao, search long one, search Baron, blah, blah, blah. Boring, same combo every game. It's very short, very sweet, very simple. But Spyral is a lot more reactive than that. And when you get into the decks where AFD is legal, you're really going to see how reactive Spyral is. One example of this is Lyrilisk Spyral. This is a brew that has been made by someone named Zadra in the Spyral Discord. Originally, I was like, oh hey, you should probably play Romulus, because this can be a substitute for Isolde if you want to, play this sort of like level 1 style of deck. And then now they've taken it to the point where they can make Trigate Wizard setups, and then a number of other things. This deck is probably a lot better at playing mid-range than other decks. And also it makes a very good use of AFD, because, which, by the way, what this card reads is, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand, and then you can also destroy as many field spells on the field as possible, gain 1,000 life points, and then add any field spell from deck to hand. Both of these are going to be a hard once per turn after the errata. The errata just isn't in yugioh Omega at the moment, so we can't really show off that. But this is kind of like what a general deck list for Lyrilisk Spyral would look like. The idea is you want to get, which is the one that adds a card to hand? I think it's this one. You want to open a number of Lyrilisk names, and then go into Recittal Starling, and then you go Recittal Starling for Sapphire Swallow, or I think it's Wagtail, and then you go Swallow and Wagtail special both. And then you take Wagtail and Recittal Starling to make Romulus, and then Romulus gets you Dragon Ravine. Dragon Ravine can send a dragon from deck to grave, which you're going to be sending Destrudo. You are going to go Destrudo, target your Sapphire Swallow, and then from there you make a level 7 Synchro. And you can pop that Dragon Ravine and get Spyral Resort. And from there, you have not used your special summons yet, so you can just go grab Quick, Special Quick, Quick grab Drone, normal the drone, stack the deck, make double helix, and that's, your general combo idea. I would try and show off this deck, however, I'm personally not too savvy with it. If you would like to experiment with Lyrilisk Spyral, I would heavily recommend joining the Spyral Discord and asking around questions about that. Now, this is what I like to play post-format. This is Adventure Spyral. Probably one of my favorite decks of all time. This is a deck that takes the idea of, oh, if you draw your Garnets, you're going to brick. The deck, has like a lot of trouble going second. It takes all of those problems, throws them out the window, and gives you the brand new problem of, why does this deck cost $400? Why are you paying $400 for Spyral? Go play Sword Soul instead, you deranged lunatic. This deck, I really like it. Sideboarding with this deck is very easy because you just have so many cards, And sometimes, you know, you don't really need the small world. Maybe you don't really need the Rainbow Bridge package. And sometimes you just don't really need, maybe you don't even need the adventure line. Who knows? But this deck, almost every hand gets you to full combo. Remember when I said Isold alone can get you there? Yeah. If you draw any part of the adventure line, because the token and Griffin Rider can make Flame Swordsman, and then you just normal summon like a Tough or something, that gets you to Isold, and then that's just full combo. It's genuinely insane how good this deck is. Additionally, Foolish Burial Goods and Dragon Ravine, plus any special summonable monster, such as the Adventure Package or Magician Souls, gets you to full combo. So it becomes very, very difficult to brick with this deck. It's very consistent. It's very good at playing, you know, a neutral mid-game type match. Its grind game is obviously incredible because Spyral, if I had to describe it as anything, is like this mix between Adamancipator and Crank Kids, in which you have this incredible grind game, but you also have this insanely explosive off-the-cuff combo deck that can just set up an unbreakable board that your opponent can't really do much about, other than, you know, draw the out. Like, good luck, buddy. I really do love this deck. This deck is very nice. And I'm either going to end the video here, or I'm going to play a clip of me doing a combo line with this list. But generally, the combo theory is the exact same. You're still going to be going, you know, double Helix and endboarding on Utopic Draco Future, Borload Savage Dragon, Apollosa, and whatever other negates you can scrounge up. The main draw of the deck is that you are playing, obviously, the Adventure Package, so you can just do a ton with that. Also, this is lying. This deck is actually even more expensive than this, because Rite of Aramesir is like a $53 card, which makes me very, very, very frustrated. How much is Dragon Ravine right now? Okay, good. It hasn't gone up yet, probably because AFD hasn't come out properly. But when AFD comes out, heavily, heavily recommend playing this deck. Let me actually see if I have a replay where I do the combo line with the adventure cards. Do I have it? I don't think I have it, unfortunately. Yeah, no. I guess I could show it off real quick. My mouth, yeah, dry. Well, we have the right. Screw it, actually, yeah. Let's show off that combo line. Actually, no, that's spoiled. That's gonna spoil the combo. Dang it. Let's go ahead. Let's just do like the standard, you know, drone. Let's grab our super agent. Ooh, that does give us a bit of an issue, in which this is probably the only confliction of the deck, is if you go for Rite of Aramesir, you can't actually normal summon drone as part of your combo. So what you could do instead, do we have a line here that gets us to it? It's risky, but no. So what you would want to do here is I'm just gonna go for the standard combo. Is you're going to normal summon drone, gonna act call monster, grab that, and then let's go ahead and grab our double helix. Call monster, get the quick fix from the deck. We're gonna go quick fix effect to grab ourselves a big red. We're gonna link off for Link Haribo. We're going to discard this now dead right. Activate quick fix, grab ourselves a last resort. Let's go ahead and big red back this super agent. This card is, I actually don't think I talked about it. This card is just premature burial. That's it. It's just premature burial. Why the deck has it? Konami really wanted to make this the best deck of all time. Reading the Spyral cards, it's just like every time you read one, you're like, wow, this is... How was this card printed? How did this make it past R&D? Oh my god, we can pendulum summon. We can do the pendulum summon thing! Hell yeah. Alright, let's clear up a bunch of space. Let's grab Ignis. Let's go ahead and make the Utopic Draco Future. 1-2. Dullahan. I'm not going to use that effect. We have to detach Dullahan there because we're going to be grabbing a shot. I'm going to shot back the Dullahan. And then we're going to overlay. Trying to speed through this because this video is already at 30 minutes. Ugh, this might actually be even worse than my last one. Let's go ahead and grab the Utopic Draco Future. Let's go 1. Let's go 2. Do we want to Pendulum Summon here? I don't think so. No, let's just go for the normal line that I know. Let's go ahead and grab the Fire Flint. We're going to go ahead and activate this. Special summon the Draco Slayer. Let's go ahead and grab... Let's just grab a Resort. No need to do anything fancy. And from here, we actually have cards engraved. So let's go ahead and banish a drone and that. And grab our Super Agent back to hand. We're going to special summon this Fire Flint Lady. And then we're going to go Fire Flint Lady to special summon Super Agent. We're also here going to go ahead and actually activate Spyral Resort to grab our Sleeper. And then let's go Quick Fix, special summon itself back, pitch this tough. We're going to grab a big red for the next turn so that we can have a good bit of follow-up on the crack back. Do we have enough cards engraved for this? 1, 2, 3, 4? No, we have more than enough. So let's go here, and then let's make our Borreload Savage Dragon. And then let's target Isolde. Special summon this. Go 1, 2, 3. And that is Sleeper equipped with a Last Resort, and then 1 Monster Reborn and 1 Premature Burial in hand. This is going to be the general combo you want to do, because this is, what, 5 negates plus 2 pops? Yeah, good luck playing through this, asshole. However, if they draw Dark Ruler, you know, that's the end of it. And even if they do, you know, like have Lava Golem or Sphere Mode, they have to have either exactly 2 Lava Golem to clear the whole board. Which, you know, if your opponent draws 2 Lava Golem against your combo deck, they're just the better player. I'm sorry. I will say, last couple words of advice here, is that Kashtira is going to be very common in this format. This deck does not exactly have a good matchup against Kashtira, and you're going to be heavily relying on your sideboard. Going first, you stomp them out of the game. However, going second, obviously, they just lock you out of either your pen zones or all your monster zones, and you can't really do anything about that. So you really are heavily dependent on your sideboard, on the die rolls, and it's very just RNG dependent. Against a lot of other stuff in the format, though, the deck is actually very, very good against it. For example, like if you can get Super Agent on board, you can special this and pop the Flu Field spell. If you draw the Foolish Burial Goods, you can even Foolish Burial Goods away a copy of Mission Assault and then special summon a Tough from your hand without burning your normal. So that way you can pop something like an M-Pen, like the Field Spell, against Sword Soul, especially with the Adventure Engine. The deck can play through an incredibly large number of interactions, and which is why I heavily incentivize playing this version of the deck. It is a little bit costly, yes. However, I do expect them to reprint the adventure cards very soon, because they haven't hit them or anything, and it's very likely that we're going to do... Hopefully, I'm very much so hoping that we get reprints of the adventure engine in Maze of Memories, because it would make a lot of sense, you know, just with like that general archetype, or that general style of things. But with that, I believe that is going to be everything that I have to say about Spyral at the moment. And final thoughts, if you want a deck that is incredibly intensive, both just like incredibly intensive on your end, in which you're never doing the same combo, you're always kind of like innovating and trying to figure out exactly how you want to go about things, as you'll see in a video I'm going to upload later today. You're going to see that this deck is incredibly reactive. Every hand gets you there, but you really have to know your stuff. And another very cool thing about Spyral is that the deck only gets better the more you know about the game. The more cards you learn about, the more combos you know, the more you can just abuse how strong Spyral's advantage engine is. Or not advantage engine, but just ability to put material on the board. Between the fact that some of the cards are Earth, Warrior, Machine, Wind, it gives you access to a lot of support that a lot of decks just don't get. Additionally, the deck is very unique in that it doesn't need its normal summon. It's nice to have it, but you can play other stuff for it. Especially with Ancient Fairy Dragon coming out. So, if that general style of gameplay fits you, then I really do think you would love playing Spyral. And with that, I hope you all could enjoy the video. I hope you all like, subscribe, comment. If you would like to see, gameplay videos on, or like replays on Spyral, seeing how the deck plays against other stuff live, feel free to comment and be like, hey, I would like to see just videos of ranked, I don't know, Omega. Just ask for whatever, ask me to play True Draco Spyral, looping 3 copies of Charming Resort Staff in the same combo. Ask me to do whatever, because this deck can do just about anything. And with that, I wish you all a good day. It's bricky, sometimes you can't go second whatsoever, and replaces it with you're playing a 60-card Abomination that should have never seen the light of day. It should have stayed in the cage back here. Is my personal take on it. However, the very cool thing about this deck is that almost every hand gets you to full combo, and I might have now be proven a liar. This gets us there. This actually does get us there, I think. Pretty sure this gets us there. Let me take a look at this. I was not supposed to add this in. Whoops. Actually, we can just bitch the issue though, so it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to do here is we need to get to Ferocious Flame Swordsman, which we actually have it. We just link these 2 off. And then we normal summon Tough, and now we go grab Isolde. We have burned our normal summon, so we're going to have to keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and grab the Ignite Paladin. And let's go ahead and send our Durandal to get our Reynard. Special the Reynard. Grab back the Durandal. Durandal. And we're going to pop. Grab Draco Slayer. How many Spyral cards do I have in Grave? Not enough. Thinking about if I want to go for Sleeper here. Do I pen summon this? It'd be really fun. I'm actually debating on Pendulum summoning this. Do I have a way to get to it if I do? Because I could go Quick Fix. No, I have to add that off of that. We're getting Dragon Ravine. No, wait, we haven't used Destrudo yet, so we don't actually even need to go for Dragon Ravine. Actually, we kind of do need to go. No, we just go straight to that. So, gosh, I'm trying to figure out exactly where this line goes. I'm gonna Pendulum summon this. This won't come back to bite me. That might actually be the optimal play there, because we're going to need to grab a certain card in just a moment. Activate our Draco Slayer. Oh, we need to get to AFD, right. We can't have that zone being blocked. So we're gonna go Majesty Pegasus. Let's grab Ravine or Resort. I think we always grab Resort. And then let's pitch Draco back. Oh, right, that has to have. Okay. Whoops. We're gonna get Quick Fix here. Now the big problem is we don't know card. Trying to think here. This is such an awkward line. We can grab, and then discard, and then big red it back. Okay, I think I see the line. I just have to think for a moment again. Let's go ahead and get Destrudo on the field. Yeah, I think this is the play. Let's go ahead and go for Destrudo. This is what I mean when I say almost every hand gets you there. However, it's just such a weird and obtuse way of playing the deck that it almost just doesn't feel like it works at all. So we actually have to grab drone here first. Now we're gonna link off for double helix. And now we're gonna special back the big red. Now we get big red, or special back that. We're gonna big red back the drone. We're gonna stack the deck with drone. 1, 2, 3. So now we can call monster. Now we can overlay for Utopic Draco Future. Yeah. I love Utopic Draco Future. It's the best card ever. We're gonna go here. We're gonna detach the Doulahan to grab shot. We're gonna go shot, grab the Doulahan. Is this full con? No way this gets me everywhere. There's no way this gets me everything. Add back the shot. No, this doesn't get me everything because we don't have Dragon Ravine, or we don't have a route to Sleeper. So we're missing like exactly Sleeper here. And then we just call monster. We make a yeah. This does everything. Do we actually? Let me think on this for a second. I don't think we have any pathway to Sleeper. No, we shouldn't. If we're playing into the rank mode, we can do something really funny. Or do we even need the other Sleeper? I personally don't think so. There's probably a line to Sleeper here. Do we want to pitch this right? We could just not pitch right. I think we're definitely going to always do this. Oh! Hi! That's our line to Sleeper. Okay. But then we lose out on a line. Okay. So this is the question. This is the golden question. Do we want to get Sleeper, or do we want to get... We've burned our normal, and we don't have a super agent. If we had a way to get if we had a super agent in Brave, if we had started this combo with super agent instead of tough, what we could do is we could banish the drone to special back the tough, and then that would get us there. But here, we have to. It's a decision of do we want Sleeper or not, because we can get to it. No, wait, we actually have a line to Sleeper. Okay, we banish this and this to add back the tough. Oh my god, we have a way to Sleeper. This is so hilarious. Okay. So let's go grab Sleeper. This is the funniest thing ever. We're gonna go drone, banish, this, get tough. Activate Fire Flint. Fire Flint effect to special summon tough. And we have a Lincoln Grave for Savage. So let's go ahead and make you. Get the Ferocious Flame Swordsman on board, and then we just need to discard one card exactly for the Quick Fix. Quick Fix is gonna grab our second last resort. Why did this work? We can actually make a 4 material Apollosa here. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just banish everything else. Do we have enough cards in grave for that? 1, 2, and then we actually have to go for that play because that gives us the 4th Spyral name. Yeah, that's full combo off of the most jank hand I've ever seen in my life. 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me this Sleeper. Oh! 6 negates! The Pendulum Man would be proud. Hell yeah. That is the most absurd thing I've ever done with this deck. Every time I play this 60 card version of the deck, I just do something even more just ludicrous with it. And that I feel is just the absolute most amazing thing about this. It's incredible. And then you just go like Sleeper, pop 2 cards. Ah, that is so sick. That is so cool. I'm very happy I got that combo line on camera. That is amazing. Play Adventure Spiral. Oh my god, that is so cool. Why did that combo? Why did that do full combo? Oh my gosh. That's sick.